What is going on, everyone? And how are you doing? I'm doing great. Amanda, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
If possible, Dead Reckoning Part 1. Full spoilers. We're talking direction, characters, what worked, what didn't work, thoughts for Part 8, and we'll maybe give some box office predictions because right now, one of my biggest gripes with this film is Ilsa's death. I am a huge Rebecca Ferguson fan, so understand that I am a bit of a stan, if you want to call me that. So there is that side of it. I'm a big fan of hers, and I just want more of her and everything. Get her in everything. But revisiting Part 5, Rogue Nation and Fallout, Amanda, I think, and I might be speaking hyperbole, but she is the most compelling character in this entire franchise to me. I really do think, even over Ethan. I am such an Elsa fan, and especially in Part 5 when she just wants to get home, but the British intelligence is like, nope, we got one over on you. Get this mission done. And we know Lang was, it was just so much going. I just love that character so much. Amanda, she got sidelined so hard in this movie to me. It was so frustrating because we opened the movie with Abu Dhabi, the cool shootout, desert thing. They fake her death there, and I'm like, no way she's dead. No way she's dead this early. But they were showing us their hand. Then she gets a scene later on when she teams up with the crew in Venice, and she has the moment with Ethan on the boat, and they have the non-verbal communication on, like, they love each other. They have appreciation for each other when they don't say anything. And then we find out that Gabriel says you're going to have to choose between Grace and choose between Elsa. If I'm Ethan, I'm like, I'm choosing Elsa all day, every day. But we know Ethan's a man of the people. He wants everyone to live. Very Captain America of him. We get to now. Listen, the moment it hit me twice. I got emotional because I love the character so much. But the scene's pretty cool. Sword versus, he's fighting Gabriel. But I'm on my soapbox now, man. I hated it that she had to die. If you wanted to sideline her and save her for Part 8, I'm cool with that because I also know behind the scenes, I believe, because it was shot over 5 years, Rebecca Ferguson is a superstar. Doom Part 2, the new Silo show on Apple TV. She's busy, rightfully so. She's in high demand. You want to sideline her and do that and then bring her back for Part 8, that's fine. But to kill her, Amanda, that broke my heart. And she's dead. I think she is dead. I don't think there's like another fake out because they already faked it out at the beginning. She got stabbed in the heart. She's dead. I mean, she's gone.
Yeah.
I'm going to toss it to you, Amanda. That is my biggest issue with the film, on top of a couple of other things that we talked about, the CIA and the plot. But what did you think about the handling of the character, and I guess any final words? So I guess this is our therapy session for the character Elsa, who is my favorite character in the franchise.
Oh, I hated it. I hated every second of it. I could not stand it. Not so much like, I think, how can I put this? When I heard that they said to each other, like, this is our first time in Venice, I'm like, oh.
There we go. Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence, what do you mean? I was like, no, don't say that.
First time and last time.
Exactly. So here's the thing. You just said she had Dune, she had Silo. She's a very busy woman. I personally think it had to deal with scheduling conflicts more so that was like tied into all of this than you bring in Haley Atwell. I think that's what had to be done. Also, out of everybody, track record wise, she is the most expendable out of the entire thing. And I've thought about this. I don't like it. I don't like what I'm saying because I love her so much. But I do think that there were more factors other than like, this is just the story for Ilsa, unfortunately. And it sucks because I don't want that. But in that moment, I was like, how could they bring in? And I was like taking it out on Haley Atwell while I was watching.
I mean, the film poses it that way. They literally say you have to choose between great. It's like the audience is like, who do you want to choose? I'm looking at Elsa all day, every day.
I'm like, I don't care about the key. The AI's gonna be there. Like, I didn't care. So I felt like I was like resentful. That's it the whole time. Like, and it makes me sad. That was it. And here's the other thing. I'm gonna push it even further, because this is what's going to bother me. And I really hope this doesn't happen because I'm going to get mad. This franchise needs to die with Ethan Hunt in IMF. Okay? Now, yes, exactly. You know where I'm going with this. You know where I'm going with it because it wasn't a pass the torch moment, But down the line, it could very much be a pass the torch moment that I will resent for the rest of my life, to be perfectly honest. So I'm very worried for part 2 if they go that route. No offense to Haley Atwell, but they are setting it up for that. They are setting it up because they said maybe they're going to make more Mission Impossible films after this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tom Cruise is still executive producer.
Yeah.
McQuarrie's still doing it. Yeah, I didn't mean to jump the gun there, but
No,
I just
you're
had
good. I mean,
so
they do set it up that way where Haley Atwell, and we'll talk about the ending and break it all down. But yeah, they do pose it where she's going to be, recruited by Kittredge and almost kind of paralleling or mirroring. She's she's older than when Ethan was recruited, but the idea of like someone coming from a bad background, she was a thief, doing all this stuff, and then she gets recruited, use her skills to, she's a resource. So we'll see what comes of that. But again, let us know in the comments. What did you think about the death? How it was handled? I think the door is closed, but if there's any conspiracy theorists out there, is there a way that she could be brought back? I mean, we know Amanda, mask off, taking off, technology. There's things that can be done, but I think it's pretty safe to assume based on I'm always one of those components. If I don't see a body, then I'm dead. If they would have had her be stabbed and not see Ethan find her body, then there's like maybe possibly the fact that they showed him like mourning over her, and then we see him on the balcony they were at mourning over her, and then the mood in the room with Luther and Benji and obviously Grace mentioned, like, I think she's dead. Like, I do definitively think she is dead. I hate to say it, but yeah, they killed her off. And going back to your point, I think narratively speaking, like you just mentioned, from Rogue Nation to Ghost Protocol, or Rogue Nation to Fallout, it was like, wait, why are you back in it? Like, I let you had to walk away, and they're like, oh, they had one on me. I was like, I guess that makes sense, but it's like, you could have just walked anyway. But in this film, they tell us, no, she's no longer part of the British intelligence. Like, she's a rogue agent because, as she talks about, she knew Gabriel because some of her friends that still work in intelligence was like, hey, you're not sentient. You can do kind of your own thing. Can you look into this for us? So she was kind of a free agent. And this is like, I guess, what do you do at that point with that character? So I don't know. That was just like, I hated it because I just love that character. She's such a badass. And not to compare it to Fast and Furious, because the franchise, I think, was in a much better position than Fast was after Tokyo Drift. But the way that, like, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson came into Fast 5 and kind of injected new life to the franchise. And again, not saying that they needed Rebecca to inject something new, but her presence was just so like, oh my goodness, this character is so cool, and just brought a whole new shift to the franchise and the chemistry with Tom Cruise. So she was that type of an impact for me for the franchise. And I'm going to miss her, Amanda. I am going to miss her. So shout out to Elsa in the comments. Let us know how you felt.